You're at brunch. The bill comes. It's $120 for eggs and mimosas. Everyone's splitting it evenly, even though you only got a coffee. Your friend suggests hitting up that new rooftop bar afterward. 18 cocktails. You feel your stomach drop because you know you can't afford it. But everyone's already ordering the Uber. And you're about to say yes anyway, because the alternative is admitting you're broke. And here's the thing. That one decision just cost you $150 and 3 weeks of progress toward literally any financial goal you have. My name is Maya, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people my age are financially exhausted while pretending we're doing fine. If you're someone who has ever said yes to plans you couldn't afford, because saying no felt worse than checking your bank account the next morning, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Today we're talking about loud budgeting. This trend that's making Gen Z wealthier faster than millennials ever got, and why one generation is opening Roth IRAs at 19, while the other is still splitting $90 brunch bills they can't afford. So let's start with what loud budgeting actually is, because the name makes it sound like you're supposed to yell about money at Thanksgiving dinner. Loud budgeting is the practice of openly and unapologetically talking about your financial boundaries. It's saying, I'm not going to that $200 concert because I'm saving for a house. Instead of making up a fake excuse about being busy, it's replying to the group chat with, that's not in my budget this month, instead of ghosting or lying about being sick. Now look, this sounds stupidly simple, but according to a 2023 Bankrate study, the average American spends $1,497 per year on purchases they regret, and a huge chunk of that is social spending. Things we buy not because we want them, but because we're too uncomfortable to say we can't afford them. Gen Z is the first generation to treat budget boundaries like they're actual boundaries. They're not whispering about money. They're not pretending to be wealthier than they are. They're saying the quiet part out loud, and it's changing everything. Here's what I call the silence tax. It's the invisible money you pay for not talking about money. The extra $50 dinner you didn't want. The $200 weekend trip you couldn't afford. The Uber instead of the bus. All to avoid one uncomfortable sentence. I can't afford that. If you overspend even $300 a month just to keep up appearances, that's $3,600 a year. Invested over 10 years? Tens of thousands of dollars. Over a lifetime? Hundreds of thousands. That's the cost of staying quiet. Here's where it gets interesting. Millennials, my people, we grew up in this weird financial moment. We watched our parents achieve this very specific version of success. Nice house, new car every few years, dinners out, vacations. We were told, that's what making it looks like. Then we graduated into the 2008 recession with $30,000 in student loans, got told why we couldn't buy houses, and tried to maintain the appearance of success anyway because we didn't want to look like we were failing. So we went to the expensive dinners. We bought the outfit for the wedding. We said yes to the bachelor party in Nashville that cost $1,200. We kept up appearances. A 2022 study from Credit Karma found that 48% of millennials have gone into debt to keep up with their friends' spending habits. 48%. Nearly half of an entire generation borrowed money to look like they had money. And here's the thing. This isn't about being dumb with money. This is about social survival. We were taught that saying, I can't afford that, was embarrassing. It was admitting failure. So we didn't say it. Gen Z said, nah, we're good on that. They grew up watching millennials struggle. They saw the Instagram highlight reel culture peak and crash. They watched influencers go bankrupt trying to look rich. And they made a different choice. According to a 2024 Bank of America survey, 73% of Gen Z adults have a budget and actively track their spending, compared to just 55% of millennials. They're saving earlier. They're investing earlier, and they're talking about money openly in ways that make older generations deeply uncomfortable. A Gen Z person will post on TikTok, I'm not going out this weekend because I'm trying to save $5,000 for an emergency fund. And instead of getting roasted, they'll get 47,000 likes and 2,000 comments of people saying, same. This is where it gets interesting from a psychological standpoint. When you hide your financial limitations, you're operating from a place of shame. Shame makes you spend money to avoid feeling bad. Shame makes you lie about why you can't go on the trip. Shame keeps you broke. But when you openly state your financial boundaries, you shift from shame to agency. You're not poor. You're someone making strategic decisions about your money. You're not missing out. You're choosing a different priority. That psychological shift is worth thousands of dollars a year. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Maya, but how much money are we really talking about here? Let me show you. Let's say you're 25 years old. You make $55,000 a year. Here's what traditional millennial keep up with your friends spending might look like. Brunch twice a month. $70 times 24 equals $1,680 per year. Girls' night out twice a month. $100 times 24 equals $2,400 per year. Birthday dinners, bachelorette parties, weddings, $3,000 per year. Concerts, events, activities with friends, $1,500 per year. Random everyone's doing it purchases, $1,000 per year. That's $9,580 per year in social spending. Now let's say you practice loud budgeting. You cut that spending in half, not by lying, but by saying no to things that don't align with your goals and being honest about your budget. You save $4,790 per year, invested in a standard S&P 500 index fund with a 10% average annual return. Here's what happens. After 10 years, $83,679. After 20 years, $303,019. After 30 years, $877,051. You can literally become a millionaire by saying no to expensive brunch. Let me show you two different paths, starting at age 25. We have on left Millennial Sarah and on right Gen Z Zara. Both are 25 years old and earn $60,000 in a year. Millennial Sarah goes along with social plans to avoid awkwardness, spends $9,580 per year on social activities, starts investing at 30 after figuring things out, invests $300 per month from age 30 to 65. Gen Z Zara practices loud budgeting, spends $4,790 per year on social activities, invests the $4,790 difference starting at 25, plus an additional $100 per month from her budget. By age 65, with the same 10% return, Millennial Sarah has $678,000. Gen Z Zara has $1,847,000. Zara has $1.2 million more dollars. The only difference is she was willing to say, that's not in my budget, starting 5 years earlier. Now look, I know what you're thinking. Maya, I get the math. But how do I actually tell my friends I can't afford something without it being weird? Here's the thing most people don't realize. Your friends are probably relieved. A 2023 Qualtrics study found that 65% of Americans feel pressure to spend more than they can afford when socializing. Your friends are sitting there pretending they can afford the $200 dinner too. Here's how to practice loud budgeting without losing your social life. Rule number 1, be direct, not defensive. Don't say, I can't go because money's tight and I'm trying to save and things are just really hard right now. Instead, say, I'm not spending money on eating out this month because I'm focused on building my emergency fund. See the difference? One sounds like an apology. One sounds like a decision. Rule number 2, suggest the alternative. Don't just say no. Say, that restaurant is outside my budget, but I'd love to do a potluck at my place instead. Or, I can't do the full weekend trip, but I can come for Saturday if we keep it under $100. You're not saying I'm too poor to hang out with you. You're saying, here's how we can make this work. Rule number 3, make it about your goals, not your limitations. Tell your friends, I'm saving for a house down payment. I'm working on being debt-free by 30. I'm building my investment account. These are flex statements. These are, I'm doing something impressive statements. No one's going to make fun of you for having financial goals. Rule number 4, find your loud budgeting friends. Find people who think like you. Make friend groups around budget-friendly activities. group chats dedicated to free events, communities celebrating financial wins. The people who mock you for having a budget are not your people. Your people are the ones who say, "Oh, thank God, I didn't want to spend $550 tonight either." Loud budgeting isn't actually about budgeting. It's about breaking a social contract that was bankrupting us. For decades, we operated under this unspoken rule. Don't talk about money. Don't admit financial struggle. Keep up appearances. Fake it till you make it. That rule was designed in an era when middle-class stability was achievable on a single income, when college didn't cost $200,000, when rent wasn't 50% of your paycheck. That era is over. We can't afford to keep up appearances. Gen Z are writing a new social contract. The new contract is we talk about money. We set boundaries. We don't perform wealth we don't have. We support each other's financial goals instead of pressuring each other to spend. And here's what's wild, it's actually creating better relationships. When you're honest about money, you stop building friendships around consumption. You start building them around actual connection. Now you might be thinking, but Maya, won't I miss out on experiences? Won't my friends stop inviting me to things? Let me hit you with some truth. If your friendships only work when you're spending money, those aren't friendships. Those are financial transactions disguised as relationships. Real friendship survives. I can't afford that. Real friendship suggests cheaper alternatives. Real friendship celebrates your financial goals instead of sabotaging them. And yes, you might lose some people. You might stop getting invited to things. But here's what you'll gain: financial stability, reduced anxiety, friends who actually care about you, and $877,051 in investment accounts. I'll take that trade. Another objection, but I don't want to seem cheap. Here's the thing. There's a massive difference between being cheap and being intentional with money. Cheap is refusing to spend on anything. Intentional is choosing what aligns with your values and goals. You can still spend on experiences that matter to you. You're just getting comfortable saying no. Let's zoom out for a second. This trend, loud budgeting, Gen Z's approach to money, all of it, is part of a bigger shift in how we think about wealth and success. Millennials were sold a dream. Work hard, climb the ladder, buy the stuff, look successful. That dream was expensive. It required debt. It required keeping up with everyone else. And for most people, it didn't deliver. Gen Z is building a different dream. One where financial freedom matters more than looking wealthy, where experiences matter more than possessions, where being debt-free is cooler than having designer bags. According to a 2024 Deloitte study, 76% of Gen Z prioritize financial security over career advancement. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're trying to build wealth, and it's working. A 2023 Transamerica Center for Retirement Studies report found that Gen Z is saving for retirement earlier than any previous generation, with a median age of 19 for opening their first retirement account. 19 years old. While millennials were paying for their fancy gatherings, Gen Z was opening Roth IRAs. All right, here's what you're going to do right now. Whether you're Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, whatever. Step 1. Calculate your social spending. Go through the last 3 months of transactions. Add up every expense that was primarily social. Restaurants, bars, events, activities with friends. Divide by 3. That's your monthly average. For most people, this number is shocking. Step 2. Decide your boundary. What could you cut that in half? Or by 75%? What's a reasonable social budget that doesn't bankrupt your future? Step 3. Practice the script. That's outside my budget right now, but I'd love to. Say it out loud. Get comfortable with it. This sentence is worth thousands of dollars. Step 4. Tell one person. Share one financial goal with one friend. I'm trying to save $10,000 this year. See what happens. I bet they either share their own goal or ask how they can support you. Step 5. Find your community. Look for budget-friendly social groups, financial independence communities, or friends who are also working on money goals. These are your people. Follow all the steps, and your future self will thank you. Here's the thing that Gen Z figured out that the rest of us are still learning. The richest life isn't the one that looks the richest. When you practice loud budgeting, you're not depriving yourself. You're giving yourself options. The option to quit a job you hate, the option to take time off, the option to pursue something meaningful instead of just profitable, the option to build actual wealth and maybe retire early. Every time you say, "That's not in my budget," you're saying yes to your future self. Every time you suggest a cheaper alternative, you're building financial freedom. Every time you openly talk about your money goals, you're breaking a cycle that kept your parents stressed and broke. Gen Z is getting rich faster than millennials because they're willing to be uncomfortable now to build financial freedom later. And honestly, the rest of us should follow their lead. Your assignment this week, say, "That's not in my budget" one time. Just once. See what happens. I bet the world doesn't end. I bet your friends don't abandon you. I bet you feel a little bit more in control of your money. And that feeling, that agency, that power, that's what builds wealth. If this video helped you, leave a comment telling me one expense you're going to say no to this month. Subscribe if you want more no BS money advice. And share this with anyone who needs permission to stop pretending they can afford things they can't. I'm Maya. Stop financing other people's opinions of you. Start building the life you actually want. I'll see you next time.